Hello YouTube, this is Corbin22 here, back with yet another 100-point squadron build for Star Wars X-Wing Miniature. Yes, I've decided to do, the idea was so fresh in my mind, I decided to just do 2 videos for one night, so yeah. What I've done here is gone back to the Imperial faction, and I've decided to use the, a 2-ship build, a Ysanne Fleet Systems TIE Advanced X1, piloted by Marek Stele, and a VT-49 Decimator piloted by Rear Admiral Chiraneau, I think his name is. Yeah, Chiraneau. The focus behind this build is criticals, lots of criticals. These guys have upgrades and abilities that pretty much guarantee them criticals. Yeah, that's really all there is to it, just lots of criticals. Their abilities, their ship cards, their upgrades. Yeah, that's being said, let's move on to the build itself. So, 2 ships. You've got the VT-49 having lots of upgrades and Marek still being decked out as much as he can. So we'll start with the smaller ship. And that is piloted by Marek Stele. Come on. I'm not sure if he's from Tempest or Storm Squadron. I'm going to assume he's from Storm Squadron. And he has a pilot skill of 7. He flies the Ysanne Fleet Systems TIE Advanced X1. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 2. He can take on the Focus, Lock-On, Barrel Roll, and Evade actions. Costs 27 squadron points. He's able to take on an Elite Pilot skill upgrade and a missile upgrade. His ability states, when your attack deals a face-up damage card to the defender, instead draw 3 damage cards, choose 1 to deal, and discard the others. So Marek Stele, when you deal a critical, you have the choice between of 3 cards. So you can choose to either give, say the 3 cards you chose were Direct Hit, Munitions Failure, or Stun Pilot. You can choose one of those 3, deal them to your opponent, and discard the other 2. So it's pretty he's a pretty tricky pilot when he lands a critical, because he's basically targeting, what he wants you to feel. For his modification, I've gone with the Munitions Failsafe, which makes it so that when he attacks with a secondary, he doesn't discard it until the attack hits. To go with that, to guarantee that he gets a critical, I've gone with Advanced Homing Missiles, which have a attack value 3 and can be used at range 2. They state, discard this card to perform this attack. If this attack hits, deal 1 face-up damage card to the defender, then cancel all dice results. So the Advanced Homing Missiles pretty much guarantees a critical hit regardless if the enemy has shields on or not. But with Marek Stele's ability, you can instead draw 3 criticals, choose 1 of them to deal, and discard the rest. Also, whenever he does need an extra boost in attack, I've also given him an Opportunist for his Elite Pilot skill, which states, when attacking, if the defender does not have any focus or evade tokens, you may receive 1 stress token to roll 1 additional attack die. You cannot use this ability if you have any stress tokens. So Marek Stele has the lower pilot skill of the 2, so this would be a good card to put on Marek, especially if he's using his advanced homing missiles, because he gets that extra attack dice for either his primary attack value or his secondary at the cost of getting stressed, but you can get rid of that with the TIE Advance's fair amount of green maneuvers. So we move on to the heavier ship of the build, of the 2. And it is piloted by Rear Admiral Chiraneau. He has a pilot skill of 8, he flies the VT-49 Decimator. He has an attack value of 3, and it's a turret, so omnidirectional firing arc. Agility value of 0, hull value of 12, and a shield value of 4. He can take on the Focus and Lock-On actions, costs 46 squadron points. And is able to take on an Elite Pilot skill, a Warhead, 3 crew slots, and a bomb. His ability states, when attacking at range 1 to 2, you may change one of your focus results to a critical result. So again, you want to get close to Chiraneau. You want to get as close as you can with Chiraneau as possible, so that you can dish out that critical if you get a focus result. And yeah, we'll go on with his. We'll start with his Elite Pilot skill, which is Marksmanship. Must be used during the action phase, and it states, when attacking this round, you may change one of your focus results to a critical result and the rest, all your other results, to a hit result. So this pretty much means that combined with his ability, say you get 3 focus results. You can use Chiraneau's ability to change that focus to a critical. Marksmanship will change that second result to a critical, and then you can use your focus token to change, and then of course you can change the rest of the results to hit results. And then, of course, for his Warhead, we have Proton Torpedoes, which have an attack value 4, can be used to range 2 to 3. Spend your target lock and discard this card for one's attack. You may change one of your focuses to a critical. So again, emphasizing on the critical bit. Just in case his attacks do miss, for his first crew, I've given him a gunner, which states after you perform an attack that does not hit, you may immediately perform a primary weapon attack. You cannot perform another attack this round. So gunner basically means that Rear Admiral Chiraneau can attack twice in the same turn, but will not be able to perform any more attacks after that until the next round. For his second crew slot, I've put in Darth Vader, who states after you perform an attack against an enemy ship, you may suffer 2 damage to cause the ship to suffer 1 critical damage. So, at the expense of taking 2 of your shields or 2 of your hull, you can make it so that after you attack, the enemy will always get that critical hit regardless. Of course, this kind of puts you in danger as well, because Darth Vader makes it so that you suffer 2 hits by yourself. So it's good that there's a ship like the VT-49 that has tons of defensive power or tons of defense capabilities, but it's a double-edged sword if you use Vader. So keep that in mind if you decide to keep spamming with him. And then finally, we have for his third crew, we have Ysanne Isard, which states at the start of the combat phase, if you have no shields and at least 1 damage card assigned to your ship, you may perform a free evade action. So that means once your shields are gone, you have 1 damage. You can use Ysanne's ability to get an evade action, which will help you evade enemy attacks a little bit better at any range, regardless of the range. And yeah, so that means you'll be slightly less likely to take that hit. You still could take that hit, but with Ysanne, it's a bit less likely now. So yeah, this I'm going to call I'll call this one my I guess I could call this critical ruthlessness, or ruthless criticals. No, critical ruthlessness sounds better. Yeah. So yeah, this is critical ruthlessness. Advantages: lots of upgrades, and their abilities allow them to perform as many criticals as possible. Gunner lets you attack twice. Protons change one of your focuses to a hit result, and of course, Rear Admiral Chiraneau's ability allows you to change another of your focuses to a critical. Marksmanship can be used with his primary weapon value, or it can be used with his Proton Torpedoes if you use it the following turn. Darth Vader makes it that you can suffer 2 hits, that the enemy will suffer critical regardless, and Ysanne, if you have at least 1 damage card, it adds a bit more defensive value, because if you suffer at least 1 damage, you can get a free evade action. And Marek Stele has both advanced homing missiles to guarantee a critical hit regardless of the enemy's shields, and then Opportunist to basically increase his chances of hitting with the advanced homings. If he doesn't hit, though, he has a Munitions Failsafe to make sure that he keeps the missile until it does land a hit. Weaknesses. Darth Vader is a big weakness on Rear Admiral Chiraneau, because you're suffering 2 hits yourself, so the enemy will suffer a critical. It's a decent trade-off, but you gotta watch out. You gotta really watch your hull value once that starts happening. So I would recommend using Darth Vader until you have maybe 2 or 3 damage cards on you, and then of course Ysanne's ability kicks in, and then I would just stop using Darth Vader and rely more on your Marksmanship, Torpedoes, and your natural ability. And with Marek Stele, not that much in terms of weaknesses. The Opportunist can be seen as a bit of a weakness because it deals stress to you at the cost of getting another attack, or an additional attack value. And of course, there's always the choice. With him, there's the choice of which critically you get to deal. That's more of an advantage than a hindrance. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my critical ruthlessness build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. If you like, you may use this build for any competitive or casual play, or if you like, you can tweak it and revamp it to your own specifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corbin22, signing off.